What's up, friends? Do you remember Paramore? Huge emo band, biggest with a female front woman. They're back with a new song, This Is Why. Announcement of a new album, This Is Why, and we're gonna check it out. The producer on this is Carlos de la Garza, who's worked with Paramore before on their self-titles, as well as After Laughter. Excited to see what this song has to offer. Wasn't the biggest fan of After Laughter, but I do think Paramore's dope. They've got some great stuff. We'll be looking at this from the perspective of a producer and songwriter, so expect a lot of pauses to go over specific sections and what's going on in terms of arrangement, production, songwriting, etc. Digging that intro. I like the, sounds like crotales in the background of that percussion, that like nice little tinkle sound you got going on. The guitars sound great. I like the diversity of guitar sounds we're getting here. You have this really nice echoey lead guitar with a nice and gritty rhythm. Sounds good. The drum pattern's also interesting. Not your kind of standard 2 and 4 type of thing. Interesting pattern going on. I'm digging it. I like songs with interesting drum lines. Nice shuffle vibe. Oh no, it is a 2 and 4. I'm starting this again. We're starting again because I said it wasn't 2 and 4 and it is. Digging the song so far. I like the drum pattern. I like the little repeat on the snare on the end of the measure. Sounds cool. As well as that bass. I like the way that kind of grittier bass contrasts with the whiny lead guitar. Like the amount of echo they're putting on it gives it a nice funky feel. There's also some light crotales, which are adding that nice kind of like tinkly sound. I think that's a good touch, very subtle, but cool. Love that bass line. Dum, 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 dum. Seeing longer and longer instrumental intros for these alternative rock bands. That was a full 30 seconds, which 4 years ago I would have said was crazy. You know, you want to get right into that song as quickly as possible, basically. And here they're taking their sweet time, which I think is cool. I like that, you know, these live instruments are taking more and more center stage. I'll do with my latest album, Bashing My Head Through a Wall. I have some longer instrumental intros. It's just a vibe that's happening in the community, you know?
Or maybe you could scream it. Might be best.
Digging the vocals here. Nice and gentle sounding going into the verse. You'll notice that there's not as much lead guitar involvement here, leaving room in that frequency range for the vocals to take center stage. Basically just bass drum vocal with occasional little flares from the electric guitar. And that's cool. I really dig that. I think that's the way to approach any song, really. I think, you know, letting bass drum vocals take over the verses is just a great move.
This is why I don't leave the
Really like the differentiation in vocal production going on here. That pre-chorus has this very ethereal feeling, you know, she's like, to yourself, and then it's very echoey, you know, there's a little bit of ring shift going on, and then when we get into the chorus, it's a lot drier sounding. We've got these gang vocals that we saw on After Laughter, and it's really just aggressive and pushing at you. We've gotten this really gentle thing, and we're just hammering into that chorus.
This is why.
That electric guitar, that rhythm electric guitar just takes so much center stage in that chorus. It sounds so good. I like how they match up so well with the vocals rhythmically.
We were crimes of passion, survival.
A lot of the same on the verse, second verse that we saw on the first verse.
Yourself.
Oh.
To yourself.
Love the change they made in the second pre-chorus, letting that to yourself extend a little longer and having the doubling on the vocal, creating another layer of that interesting effect. It's cool.
You say the coast is clear, but you won't catch me out. Oh, why?
I like that it feels like they're evolving from After Laughter while still retaining those elements that made Paramore Paramore on things like their self-titled. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're taking those production elements they learned from After Laughter, like those gang vocals, but they're bringing back those electric guitars and that savageness to center stage, which just makes sense to me. It feels like it fits so well. It makes me appreciate After Laughter a little bit more as it's kind of setting the stage for the next part of their sonic atmosphere that they're developing. I'm trying to figure out what that whooshing sound is. There's like this whoosh. I don't know if that's guitar feedback or if it's a specific sample of like the wind blowing. It's hard to tell. Bridge is kind of reflective of that pre-chorus in terms of vocal production, which I don't think is a bad move. You hear it a lot in songs, you know, if you have like a more ethereal sounding pre-chorus, then the bridge gives it a good chance for that ethereal sound to kind of take more center stage. I also like the counter melodies going on in the background vocals. Oh, I wish they would have let that cannonball ring out even longer. I liked that so much. So good. Her highs can sound so savage and so rocker. Haley just kills it. So good. So good. And I like how they added just like a slight bit of distortion, kind of matching that guitar tone.
This is why I don't leave the house. It's safe because
I like the slight modulation in vocal right there. It's cool to have the chorus take a different approach, hear it from a different angle, slight melody change. It adds a little something different going into this third chorus. Love it. I love to hear Haley just really getting into it in that bridge and at that end, that outro. It sounds so good. And the chorus works. I think this gang vocal chorus works better than anything on After Laughter personally. Man, it's just good to see him back in like real rock form. It's good to hear Paramore again like this. If you like emo music, you'll probably like my latest album, Bashing My Head Through a Wall, which is available here. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. I also did a podcast episode with some friends where we went over all of the Paramore albums up to this point. If you want to check that out, I left a link in the comment section. That's it. Catch you on the flip.
I'm breaking the mirror.